how to imagine and why some people say that their imagination didn't do exactly what they imagined, and what's the difference, why some fail and why some succeed. And the biggest thing in manifestation and imagination, that the way Neville Goddard teaches it, and he warned people that we have labeled, bastardized the word imagination, and it has too many meanings now, right? Somebody creates a work of art and we are going to say this person is a great imaginative person, and they use their imagination and created something wonderful. But another guy who is, who's like, oh, I remember this and this happened that day, and his friends will say, oh no, you are just imagining that, nothing like that happened, right? So in one case we are using imagination to imply something great, and in another meaning we are saying that it's a figment of your imagination, like you're just hallucinating. So Neville Goddard warned that most people use their imagination in daydreaming kind of manner, like they already go into imagination as something that is that of fantasy and it's not real, right? So you can daydream about having millions or having this or that or the other all day long and nothing will happen, because you are already going into the imaginal scene from the perspective that it is fantasy, it has no significance, right? Or you would imagine watching a movie or from third person perspective, or you would imagine just for enjoyment purposes, right? Make up fake scenarios in your mind to enjoy your imagination, but you know that this is all fake and you are going in with an intention to enjoy your imagination, not to use it as a tool, right? Imagination is a tool, is a spiritual tool that you deliberately can use to create your reality. But this is the main difference between those who can create with their imagination deliberately and those who don't or are failing to create. Everybody can, but those who are failing, they are going with an intention in their imagination that this is all fake, this is all, it's tomfoolery or whatever, it's hallucination, none of this is real. And with that intention they go into imagination and they just use like a daydream or fantastical way of imagination, or they try to make it real but they still have this intention that imagination is fake, it does not work, or it's just my imagination, right? Like, oh, it's just your imagination, it means nothing. So intention is number one thing. Now I will explain now in a bit how to imagine efficiently and accurately, but I want to also say that the way Neville Goddard taught imagination with 5 sensory experience, making it real, right, and repetition, I now understand why Neville did that, because he was a genius. Because I recently had this sort of download in my mind, like in Japanese dojos, initially they will make the student swing a sword in a very boring kind of manner, like this repeatedly for like many times, right? Until the student is like, what the hell is going on? Are they pranking me or something? Because the student is eager to try the cool samurai moves, right? Everybody wants to go to the super duper main moves, but the teachers will make them do the most boring and the most menial tasks and make them clean repeatedly. What is the teacher trying to do? The teacher is making them get familiar with discipline, right? The number one thing in sportsmanship, and especially the Japanese style, is discipline, right? So they are making them, they are sort of breaking their monkey mind's desire to jump from here to there and there, right? It's also a meditation, right? When you do something repeatedly without thinking, eventually your mind goes numb and you get into this flow state where you're just doing the activity and you're being in the now moment. So that's the other reason. And so thinking about those two reasons, now I understand why Neville Goddard was talking about making imagination sensory vividness. He was into that. And second thing, he was about repetition, because not everybody understands the gravity of his teachings, right? He was teaching everybody, and most people do not go into the depth of the law. They just want to know how it works, right? They just want to know how to make it happen. So you don't have to understand anything about the law, nothing. Just do what Neville said, right? Get into a sleepy, drowsy state before sleep, right? The alpha state. Put on some music if you have to, binaurobics or whatever. Just get into a sleepy, drowsy state and form a very short scene, 10 to 15 seconds, in which you are doing the action that implies that your wish is fulfilled. If you want a car, imagine driving the car. In my case, when I was back in Malaysia and I wanted to come to Russia and be married to my wife and have a flat here, I imagined myself living in a studio apartment here, and my wife was there as well. And all the details that I imagined in my imaginal act, now I have this exact same flat. And the things that I left a little bit general, and I didn't imagine the whole thing with every single last details. Those details are a little bit different, but they integrate well, right? So I did the same thing. I get into alpha state and I repeated the scene until it felt real. So this is what you do. You imagine the scene, a short scene that implies your wish is fulfilled, and you repeat it until you can feel that you are in the scene right there, right now. And go into your imagination with the intention that it is real. That's another thing that makes people fail. They go into their imagination thinking that it is fantasy and it's not real. No, it is real, right? Go into imagination as though it is right now, right here, right now, a real fact, because in the higher dimensions it is. And repeat the scene until it feels real. And from there you can either fall asleep in that state or just, accept that it is done and move on with your day. So you don't have to understand anything about the law if you just do what Neville says, and it will work. But you have to do it the way the man said. Because he was doing to people what teachers who teach samurais or in dojos in Japan or even in Buddhism, he was teaching you discipline, and he was training your mind's eye, your muscle of imagination. And 99% people abuse their imagination and they have absolutely zero discipline in there. Now to the main part, is any of this necessary? Nope. You can just imagine something, just a flat picture in your brain, and say that it is done and it will be done. It's all about the implication and your state of being, right? What does an image in your mind implies? Because we have been manifesting our whole life. We did not do these imaginal acts. We didn't do and sit down and meditate and imagine something. We feared something, right? For example, somebody feared that their partner is cheating on them, and they imagined, right, some mysterious text on their partner's phone. That's it. They emotionally charged it by feeling it to be real, and then it happened, right? Or somebody imagined that I feel like something is going to happen today, something terrible is going to happen to me, and all of a sudden they get into an accident. You see, you did not sit down and get into an alpha state and try to imagine that. It just happened because implication. You did not question it, number one. You did not think it was fantasy. You felt it real, you emotionally charged it. And third thing, you just an image flashed into your mind. You did not repeat the scene. You did nothing. You just, an image flashed into your mind, and that's it. It happened. So what Neville was trying to do, because he was a genius, he was teaching those, most of us are undisciplined, he was teaching us the discipline of imagination, the art of imagining. That's why he said that do exactly what I say, get into an alpha state before sleep, because alpha state helps your calm your monkey brain down, and then you can get into the alpha state and imagine more vividly and more accurately. And then that's he said to restrict the imaginal act to be very short. Why? Because when you imagine too many things, you don't have any discipline, you can easily get distracted. Third, repeat it. Why? Because the more you repeat it, the more you're training yourself. It may sound boring, it may feel terrible initially, it may feel fake, just like the guy swinging the sword for the 38,000th time. It's gonna be like that because you have no discipline. I am not gonna say here I have mastered it. I know I am speaking from personal experience, but now I understand why Neville was going through that approach, was telling people to go with that approach. And so, but here's the thing, you don't need it. Is the implication, is the intention behind your imaginal act. So the reason why most people fail is because they go in imagination with thinking that is fantasy. But when they imagine their fears, they don't think like that. They think the fear is coming. They think the bill is, they think they're gonna go broke in a month, and they feel it viscerally. It's a visceral reaction that they have. Because in that moment you're questioning, not questioning it. You think it's real. But when you imagine for things that you want, you say it's fantasy. So go in your imaginal act, holding the intention that it is real. It is a fact in the higher dimensions, and this is when it helps you with your imagination to go deeper into the law and trying to understand the nature of this reality. And I have made many videos about it, that this is a mental realm. God is mind, and we are in the mind of God, and everything is mental, everything is consciousness. And so when you imagine something, it is literally a fact, it is true in the higher dimensions. So this is when it helps you understand that why your imagination is not fantasy. But if you say it is, then it is, because your word goes, this is your reality. You are giving dominion here to believe whatever, and it's going to happen. So the number one thing is go with an intention that your imagination is real. Second, imagine it. If you can make it feel real, fantastic. If you can't, perfectly all right. Just know that this is real. It's all about the implication, right? Hold an image in your mind or a scene in your mind that implies that your wish is fulfilled. And after that you have done that, don't go back to your old state and don't say that it's not going to happen, right? Don't contradict what you have done in mind. Don't be double-minded. As Neville said, that in the scripture it says that double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I'm not sure if it's a scripture or not, but he often quoted that. So don't be double-minded after that, and it will happen. So it's all about the implication, the intention behind it. It has nothing to do with, but it's very helpful, very, very important. So I would still say that people practice imagination like Neville Goddard taught. Repeat it, try to still your mind, understand the value of stillness, meditate, and get into the alpha state as much as you can. Practice it and repeat your scenes, even if they feel fake initially, even if they feel like it's BS. But go with the intention that it is real. Even if it feels like fantasy initially, go with the intention, hold the intention that this is 100% real, and I am in that reality right here, right now. Don't put it into the future. When I was imagining being here in Russia, I was not thinking, I was in Malaysia. I was not thinking that I am there. I was thinking I'm here, and now I'm here, right? The proof is literally here in my story. So don't put it into the future. Don't think it is fantasy. Repeat it. Try to make it feel real. Go with the intention that it is real, and it will feel real. And don't imagine as though it's you're third person, you are watching a movie. No, act in your scene. Act If you want a car, drive it. Put your hand on the steering wheel. Feel it to be real. Or just, drive your car. So if you want a house, be in that house. Do something in that house. Right? So don't consider it to be a fantasy. Understand imagination is 100% real. Act in it. Repeat your scene. And practice imagination this way. But none of this is necessary. But you and I lack discipline. This is why we need it. So Neville was a genius because he was dealing with all sorts of people, and he understood that not everybody knows the kind of depth that I have, right? Most people are beginners. They just wanted to know how this stuff works. Some people can grasp the abstract concept. Other people need procedure, and some other people need a full regiment. And he gave everybody what they wanted. And at the later part of his life, he confessed that you don't need. He would just imagine for 1 second. Somebody would ask him to imagine something for them, and he would do it. 1 second, that's all. No repetition, no sitting down on a couch and doing all that stuff. But for beginners, it's necessary, so you must do it. Anybody wants to work with me one-on-one, the link is in the description. If you want to join the membership channel, where you can ask me any question, and you can have face-to-face chat with me. The link is in the description. This is for this video. Until next time, bye-bye.